Morena koutou and no mai, haere mai. Welcome to number 5 of our oblique series. We're going to be working on the front and the back obliques. And remember, teaching Pilates and yoga is my full-time job. So I am loving the opportunity to still do this. I'm missing people and I'm missing teaching my classes. So thanks so much for joining me. Great to see you, Di. So I've got my box here, but you might have a chair and you might have all your other props from around the house. Welcome, Dawn. I've got a strap here, but you could get a dressing gown cord or a belt, any little props that you might have. So when you are ready, a little hand towel perhaps, or a blanket, if you've got a soft stability ball or a block, just anything like that you might have, you're welcome to use. In my previous videos, I've been introducing props. Use what you've got. If you've got nothing, then absolutely fine to use nothing. Just use your body, your tinana. So let's start, as we always do, lying on our backs. And if you did have some props, it's a nice opportunity to open up through our thoracic spine here. So anything, a blanket, a rolled up blanket, a roller, a ball, blocks, anything to lift this heart space up is great. And then we just stack our knees together, feet apart, so that we can really relax these hips. And right away, perhaps bringing your hands like a little triangle, fingertips onto your pubic bone, heels of the hands onto your hip bones. And just feel that you're breathing into that space in between, that just below the belly button. You're lifting as you inhale and lowering as you exhale. Lifting as you inhale and lowering as you exhale. One more like that, lifting into that space below the belly button and lowering. And then just because we've been here for a few breaths now, can you lengthen through the back of the neck, tuck the chin. So it's all about length today. We're using these side waists to find length. Can you lift your bottom up, lengthen and tuck your tailbone under a little bit, and then lengthen across the collarbones, roll the shoulders down the back, lengthen your arms away from us. So just trying to find space in our bodies, and then back to that beautiful belly breathing. Can you begin to think about these ribs at the front of our body, the false ribs they get called? They're not attached to our sternum, to our breastbone. Can you feel those opening as we inhale? And then closing as we exhale as well. So we've got the lower belly lifting, then the ribs expanding, lifting sideways, lifting up, and then lowering back down again. So lifting, 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 lifting these sideways under the armpits, and then exhaling, closing the ribs down, closing the belly down, lifting the pelvic floors. Inhaling, lifting sideways and up, exhaling down. So another couple of breaths here, just settling in, letting gravity to continue widening those collarbones, feeling nice and heavy down in our pelvis, and then just beginning to think about maybe a wee body scan, just checking your body from head to toe, noticing the sensations in your body. And this is when Pilates or any movement becomes a moving meditation. We're noticing the sensations in our bodies and we are really aware of them. So our practice begins with our breathing. Morena Kerry, great to see you. So we'll start with some tilting, hip tilting and nodding. So just back on your back again. This time feet and knees are hip distance apart. Stretch the arms to your sides. I'm just going to rock our pelvis forwards and backwards a few times. Just some nice hip tilts. Finding length in that lower back. Feeling as if we're pushing everything down, and then taking our back the other way, finding a bigger space underneath our back. Just rocking a couple more times there, and then settling. We can do the same thing with our shoulders. Roll them towards the ceiling, roll them back a few times, just mobilizing. Even bring your arms up and down. And again, this is a really nice exercise to do over any kind of rolled blanket or roller. And then we can bring our shoulders up to our ears, draw them back down again. Up to our ears, draw them back down. Another couple of times. Beautiful. And then we can nod our head. Just nod as if we could again lengthen up the back of the neck there. And then look up towards the ceiling, lengthen again, a little bit up. So we won't just go back up to neutral. Neutral is when our forehead is ever so slightly higher than our chin. So we're not overextending, not lifting our chin right up, just taking it into that tucked position, which can feel quite constrained, and then up to neutral, constrained and neutral. Just noticing what happens in your body. Ribs might pop, lumbar spine might move as well. Just noticing little things that happen in your body. Beautiful. And then we'll carry on. So we'll bring our arms up again. We'll take some nice scissors here. So we're thinking about trying to close these ribs as we exhale. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, close the ribs in towards the mat. Inhale back. Exhale away. Inhale back. Lengthening through those fingers, being as long as you can. And don't worry about how far the arms reach. It's really all about trying to keep the rib cage nice and still, and thinking of those lower ribs, those false ribs drawing down, down, down. Beautiful. And we'll go on some little circles. So we can exhale away, inhale back. Exhale, inhale back. Little capital D's here, and they're quite small, particularly if you've got any clicking or any pain in your shoulders. And then we can go the other way, and you could definitely make the circles bigger as you begin to warm up and lubricate these joints. And again, we just never want sharp shooting pains or pins and needles, clicking. So if those things are happening, make your movements a much smaller range. A lot of this is about finding your best range of movement. Beautiful. And from there, grabbing anything you've got. You might have a towel, you might have a yoga strap or a band, popping it around the heel, and we'll stretch our hamstrings out. So you could definitely have a bent hamstring stretch, that's absolutely fine. You could also have your opposite leg bent like I have, or you could lengthen that leg out. It could go onto something, a block or a book, or maybe stretch along the mat. And if you have got straight legs, they're alive. You can't quite see my foot, but it's flexed away from me. And we're drawing this inner thigh down, down, down. Keep pushing through the heel, and rather than bringing the leg towards you, take the leg away from you, and we're actually finding length. Remember, we've been working on our obliques. We want these to be longer. So actually take your hand and draw the hip down away from you. Feel those glutes coming underneath to hug that leg. And then we can take this leg away from us. So our stabilizing legs really active, the inner thighs drawing down to the mat as we just take this active foot away from us. And again, we're trying to keep the hips nice and still. That's the Pilates challenge, is that our torso is still, our shoulders are still, our pelvis is still, even when we're moving our legs and arms. So this is a great place to practice being long and strong through that stabilizing leg. Glutes are on both legs. We're still thinking of tucking the glutes under the hip bones. Nice big breath in, and then exhale. Take the leg across the body now, and again we want to lengthen the hip where the raised leg is away from us. So draw it away, tuck it under, and bring this foot across the body now. And again, I'm trying to be as neutral as possible in my hips, trying to not lift the hips up off the mat. So the legs are active. They're squeezing into each other. both knees are lifted, both feet are active to really help that. And we'll turn this into a twist. So bend the knee now, take it away from you. So I'm going away from the camera. You could absolutely put anything you like underneath your knee so that you can have both arms quite comfortable, both shoulders on the mat. And if it's nice, you can look straight ahead, but if you would like a full twist, again, you could look away. And again, we're always drawing and lengthening this space, these obliques. So we're drawing this hip down, 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 and away from us. So take your hand, sweep it down, 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 and then rest it on your thigh. Apply a little bit of pressure to help find that opposition so we can feel that stretch between this leg and all the way up under the armpit. Beautiful. So the science says if we twist a little bit before tummy exercises, we can get a lot more activation. So that's the reason that we do have a few stretches before we get started. Muscles need to be a certain length to be at their best place for activation. This is also a really good glute stretch, and we're going to be using our glutes. So again, we want to give them a little bit of love. And let's bring ourselves back to the midline. Maybe swap your block or ball over if you did use one. Grab your strap, and it's going on the opposite leg now, down by the heel, so that we can be really thinking of drawing that leg into the hip socket. So lengthen the extended leg hip away from you. So how long can this waist be? And again, really what makes you feel most comfortable in this stretch. If your leg is stretched away, either it's pushing into the mat because it's bent, you're pushing it into the mat, or you've stretched it away from you and you're pushing your heel into the mat. Either way, both legs are active, and we're drawing this leg away from us and tucking the glutes under the hip bone. Nice job. And again, you could put your opposite hand on your thigh, so you can think about taking those inner thighs down towards the mat as you just gently glide this leg open. And again, squeezing glutes, active through feet. Both feet are flexed, both knees are lifted, and we're trying to be as nice combination of relaxing what you don't need to use here. So jaws off, shoulders are off, tummy still lifting and lowering. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, just bring this leg across the body again. So this is a stretch on the outside of the leg there. And you could even turn your toes, little toes side down towards the mat as well if you wanted to add even more stretch. Trying to keep neutral in the pelvis, so drawing your hip down to the mat. Don't let it lift, even though it would like to. Until now we can bend it and bring it all the way across. And maybe you've got something underneath your knee. You might not need to think underneath your knee. And then open out. Again, take your top hand and draw it down the ribs, down the waist, down the hip, and then let it rest on the knee. You can apply a little bit of pressure, maybe look over your shoulders, you've got that full twist. If that's not nice for your neck or that's not nice for your arms, you just have your arms by your side. So as always, I'm giving you options and ideas, but this is all about your body and your practice. You know what you're feeling here. There's a couple more breaths here. Try and relax those glutes. This is a glute stretch as well, remember. Keep lengthening this hip, top hip, away from you. Beautiful job. Lovely. The sun's come out in Wellington, which is a bit of a bonus. It was meant to be with gales last night, and it wasn't meant to be nice today, so it's lovely looking out the window into the sunshine. Looking forward to getting out there. So let's come up into our Pilates curls now, and you could add some of the other exercises that I've been teaching you, the hulas, where we go from left to right, or you could use keep your head down or bring your head up. So it's really, again, like I just said, finding what works for you. I do like a little towel underneath the back of the head though. So bringing ourselves into a nice Pilates stance, knees and feet are hip distance apart, arms are hip distance apart, hands behind the back of the head to begin with, just while we get this idea of the nod. So neutral neck, nod the neck, and draw the elbows in so that you can feel those ribs drop down. It's nice and flat at the bottom of the ribs. And then curling into a Pilates curl position, lengthening back down, opening. So we can inhale, prepare, exhale, nod, and lift, and coming back. So it's all about these ribs. The ribs draw down, 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 down so much that our head just floats up off the mat. And as we draw those ribs down, 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 you're hopefully feeling your tummy is helping with the lift here. So it's not all about the neck doing it. The neck's helping, but it's secondary to the tummy. So you could continue with these, or you could add hulas. You could continue but with arms straight. And if you would like to make it even harder, so we've got hulas, that would be the next step. And last of all, we could leave our head up, arms stretch out, and take alternating one leg at a time lift ups. And again, hands could be at your sides or hands behind the back of the head. So we're here for about another 30 seconds. So just taking the exercise that suits you here. Remember, if you're breathing nice and evenly, you're okay. And if your tummy is moving up and down, nice and relaxed and soft, you're okay too. Just another 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. Beautiful. Bring your head down, maybe some more nods, little movement, yeses and nos in each direction to let that one go. And we'll go on to our single leg lifts now. So arms at our sides, big breath in, to glide our leg up and just glide it back down as you exhale. Let's keep going on this one side, glide it up and glide it down. And last week I had a block underneath the toe for those of us who find it really hard not to arch our back. So just check your hip bones are on one line with your pubic bone, and you could absolutely take your peace fingers onto your transverse abdominis to check that you're using that. So right away we're using those side waists right now, the front side waists there. So give me a thumbs up if you're feeling something. Let me know that you're here. And let's try the other side. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Remember, any time you can go into alternating. I like to just establish this. We always have a weaker side, and it's quite good to do alternating just to establish which side needs a little bit more love and to check that it's firing up as well. Okay. And then we can definitely go on to alternating. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And we can pause at the top, slowly glide down. Pause at the top, slowly glide down. The gliding down, you can really feel that lower belly working there. So do pull up your pelvic floors as you exhale, just to support your lower back. Keep drawing the belly button and lifting it up under the rib cage, lifting the side weights up under the rib cage as well. So we can keep going with these, or in a few seconds we're going to go on to marching. So again, just monitor your tummy and your breathing. Inhaling one leg, then the other up, and we're going to do exactly the same idea. Remember, it's quite good. I can see myself here. I can see my legs were up too high, so we want to really have that 90-degree angle here. Maybe flex the feet, and we're just taking one heel down towards the mat, drawing it back. And again, the work happens in here. I'm not letting my pelvis rock forwards and backwards. So If that's hard, then you could put a block underneath your heels, so you've got something to aim for. I'm not touching the mat all the way. I'm not quite warmed up enough yet for that. Let's try the other side. And this side's a little bit more flexible, so I can touch the ground much more easily on this side. Again, those fingers can be on the hip bones to check that your hips are staying completely still, or you could walk them in about 2 centimetres and feel that your transverse abdominis is coming on, whatever works for you there. Okay, and then you could stay with single legs, left and right again, or you could go into alternating. So it's really all about you. And if this is going along really nicely, robot arms, arms above our head. If you've got some little hand weights or some cans of food at home, you could definitely go on to your dead bugs, taking alternating arm, alternating leg away from you. And on Friday we had some little balls underneath our heels, so that's another idea for you as well, to add some instability here. Beautiful. And we've got another 30 seconds, so let's slow it down now. Slow the movement down, keep the breathing going. Beautiful work. Another 10 seconds. Haere tonu. Keep lengthening. Tuck that chin. Here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Let's roll over onto our tummies, and we'll go on to some work with our opening up our thoracic spine here. So again, for some of us, especially if you have lower back issues or a sway back, popping a little towel underneath your hip bones can be a really nice little prop or adjustment here. So active feet again, so really active through those feet, and they are tucked under and flexed, so we can lift those thighs up. Draw your hands to your waist, tuck the chin, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulders together, push through the hands little tiny bits so that you can just glide your head up off the mat, tuck the chin so our head's in line with our ears are in line with our shoulders, close the ribs if you can. 3, 2, 1, and turn your head towards me. Lengthen your arms and let your heels just completely relax apart. Quickly as you can, relax. Big breath in, tuck the toes, lift the thighs again, so flex those feet. Find your hip bones and your pubic bone. Draw your hands to your side waist, maybe you can take them down a little bit further away from you. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze elbows together, close ribs. Maybe you can hover your hands up off the mat for 3, 2, 1, and then turn your head away from me and relax completely again. Good job. And then we can go on to our locust. So exactly the same idea, but with long arms behind our backs this time. So again, tuck those toes, lift those knees, find your connection with your pubic bone and your hip bones. And this time we're drawing those arms away from us. So same idea, squeeze shoulder blades together, draw arms away from us, tuck the chin, close the ribs, and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. How long can we be from the crown of the head through to those heels? 3, 2, 1, and kia toe, relax, turn your head towards me, completely relax as fast as you can for a few seconds. Let those heels draw away from you. And we'll do one more like that. So tuck the toes again, Lift the knees, find that connection with your nice neutral pelvis, roll the shoulders back, lengthen the arms away from you, draw the head up so that your ears are in line with your shoulders, and holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Turn your head away from me and kia toe, relax. So from here we'll go on to some swimming. So kei te ngā waiwai koko, swimming legs. And if you want to, you could add the arms. So let's draw our hands back to that locust position, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and we can bring our arms up in the air behind us. Just turn the toes and you can begin to lift one leg at a time in a swimming action. Let's go for this for 10, 9, 8, 7, lengthen, 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 5, 4, tuck the chin, lengthen through the crown of the head, 2, and 1. And then again, relax completely. Just rest your head to one side and have a complete break there. Beautiful job. So we'll roll into our backs now. We'll give some glute bridges. So you can have your feet and knees hip distance apart. And again, we've used props quite a lot, so you could pop ball between your knees if you wanted to. Kia ora Caroline, or you could kia ora Karen, or you could put a ball underneath your foot to make it less stable. So again, lots of props. Every little lesson I've tried to teach us a different way to use a prop. So just go back to those that you've enjoyed, or use them to challenge yourself or to support yourself along the way. So we'll start out with some double leg lifts. So both feet are hip distance apart, arms at our sides, and we're just going to pelvic tilt a couple of times and then roll up, bottom up, just so we could fit a fist underneath our bottom, and then roll back down. Beautiful. Rolling up and then rolling back down. Squeeze the glutes to roll up and keep them on as you roll back down. So you want to keep that connection, keep those glutes on the whole time. And as always, we can make this a little bit harder by robot arms, less base of support, arms in the air. And if you did have small hand weights or cans at home, you could begin to draw your arms down as you lift the pelvis up, arms up, pelvis down. Just taking ourselves in opposition, finding that beautiful length. We're here for another 15 seconds. So just keep going, rolling up, rolling down, enjoying that beautiful articulation. Beautiful. You could do a second set of that if you want to, or we can go on to single legs. So we'll roll up again, stay here. Either we are heel tapping, or we are extending one leg at a time. I like to put the palms of my hands on my hips, squeeze in, so that I can really feel one hip being nice and still as I extend the opposite leg. So take your time here. There's no rush. We can do one leg at a time. Just keep going with one leg. Let's all go with the leg nearest the camera, and we're going to add a little variation. We're going to point towards our nose, point, point, flex down so the knees stack, point, point, flex so the knees are lined up. Push your hands into your hips so you can feel that your hips are nice and still, and flex. One more time, point, point, and flex. Good. This is a much harder exercise. You absolutely can go back to where we've come from. Otherwise, lifting your leg furthest away from the camera, point towards your nose. 1, 2, flex away. It's good we stretch those hamstrings. Point, point, and flex. Point, point and flex, point, point and flex. Last one, point, point and flex. Beautiful. Onto your tippy toes. Bring your arms up and let yourself come down one vertebra at a time. Stretch your arms away from you. Really enjoy a beautiful stretch here. Lovely job. We're going to roll up. So bring your feet and knees into your chest. Roll up like a little ball on your back a few times. Use your strong tummy muscles to keep yourself in that ball shape. Then cross your ankles and walk those feet and legs back. So we're in our tabletop position. I'll just turn around so I can see you. So on our hands and knees here in our 4-point position. And we'll go and do a lot of those little challenges that we have been doing here. The first one is our serratus push-ups, where we just relax between the shoulder blades, draw the shoulder blades apart. So relax between the shoulder blades, draw them apart. It's exactly the same as this exercise we've already done, but we've now added weight bearing. And you could absolutely do this in a forearm plank as well if you really would like to build up a lot more strength for your weight bearing. Wherever you are, let's do 3 and 2 and 1, and then draw up between those shoulder blades, feeling nice and wide, and we'll go on to some challenges here. So you could absolutely put a ball between your knees if you want some more connection, and then we will inhale, take one hand, maybe the hand furthest away from me or way up, exhale it back, inhale up, exhale it back. Keep going on this one side, and maybe right away you can feel your opposite side, the supporting side of your obliques, those front obliques coming on. And I think your back obliques are probably going to be coming on to help with this lifting action. Let's do one more, up and down, other side. So really pushing forefingers and thumbs into the mat, gliding up, gliding back. Good, tucking the tailbone, pubic bone, just connecting towards your shoulders a little bit. Feeling those obliques coming on now. Perfect, okay. Maybe you can add opposite this time. So lift and lower with the one hand, lift and lower with the other. Inhaling to lift, exhale to draw the hand back. Use that drawing back action to pull your belly button up too. Beautiful. And we can add our legs now. So drawing your leg furthest away from me, just sliding it back so you've still got a connection with the ground, and bring it back in again. Maybe bringing the knee a little bit high towards the chest, glide it away, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, puff up between the shoulder blades, push the forefingers and thumbs into the mat. And if you'd like to extend the leg away from you, just drop the hip, maybe flex and point a couple of times, draw it back in. Keep going with extended legs. You can keep that connection with the mat, or you can take that connection away depending on what suits you. And we'll try that on the other side, lengthening away, keep the connection, draw the knee up, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling, maybe lengthen away, flexing and pointing, drawing it back in, inhaling. Beautiful. And we're heading towards Nautilus or opposite hands and knees, really whatever's good for you here. So Just take a second to find your connection with your breath again. Draw your hands into the midline, draw your biceps and upper arms into the midline, puff up, tuck the chin, and then taking opposite arm, opposite leg away, either keeping nice and long, or you could add that curled angry cat back into nautilus, or you could keep a straight back and just bring them in like we've just done. So just finding the best place for you here. Staying on one side. Let's just do 3 more. Slow the movement right down. There's no rush. Pausing at the top if you can. Beautiful. Have a little wriggle, maybe some cats and cows in between. Maybe some wrist love in between. Turn the palms forward, rock forwards and backwards if that's nice. And then we'll go on to the other side. So set yourself up again, nice and long, lengthening away from you, exhaling to bring everything in. Inhaling away, pausing, exhaling in. Maybe adding an angry cat back. Tuck the chin, nose to knees. If you would like to add another little expression, another way to find challenge in our obliques. 10 more seconds to go. Keep going. Kia kaha, be strong, koutou. 1 more. Beautiful. And again, maybe some cats and cows, maybe child's pose. Go ahead and take a position that would suit you for about 30 seconds. Maybe some wrist love again, maybe staying in your child's pose. And let's all meet in child's pose. So you could have your knees together or knees apart. And we're going to walk our hands from one direction over to the other. So again, we get to give those sideways a little bit of love. So let yourself walk out. Absolutely put a block underneath your chest or forehead or underneath your bottom, just so you can find the best way to relax here, and so that you've got a connection with the mat. So do something to bring the mat up to you if your head can't reach the mat or your bottom can't reach your heels. So lengthening out, tuck the chin, maybe hands behind the back of the head. Taking 3 big breaths here. Beautiful job. Walking yourself off to the other side, and 3 big breaths here, sighing everything in and everything out. Breathing in and out. 1 more big breath in and out. Beautiful job. Let's transition to our sides, and you might have a box or a chair, anything that you can put an ottoman, your top leg sort of out of the way, and your bottom leg then is free to move around a little bit more. So just get that set up. We won't use that right away. We'll do our side series first, and then we'll go on to that. I'll just move that so you can see my legs. So we're going to bring ourselves into the side of our mat, nice and long. Bring your legs about 30 degrees in front of you. So if you were on a mat, your back's along the back edge and your toes are on the corner of the front edge in front of you. You could bring your head down to the mat and lengthen your bottom arm away from it. I like to use my fingers, my ringers, to walk away, and top hand in front of you. Just check that you have got this hip. Again, take your hand and glide this hip down. Maybe there's a wee space underneath the mat. There's an intention that there's a space there. You might have your body resting there, but you're actively lifting up off the mat there. And we'll just do our lovely side series. So again, just other variations are to put our head in our hands, or to come up onto our sideways, stack one hand on top of the other, or to pop something underneath our foot on the mat. So you could put a block underneath that foot, or even just turn the toes so that there's less stability there. So just finding your best place here. And we're going to take our top leg up and flex it down. So te waiwai, ki runga, and ki raro. So just gently up and down. Beautiful. Up and down. Try to find as much length as we can here. And the next time your leg is up, we're taking it forward and flexing it back as still as you can in your hips. So over time your range might become bigger, but for now find your best place where your hips are not moving. Notice how my fingers are staying at my hips to check that my hip is not moving at all. Beautiful. And the next time your foot is back, keep it flexed. Draw this hip down and away from us. And mahia te pura fita with a flexed foot, little circles. And again, at first your circles might be as big as a little tennis ball. Over time, as your glutes become stronger, as your tummy becomes stronger, pelvic floors become stronger, your circles might become bigger. And let's point the foot and change direction. So it's all about control. We're not using momentum. We're not letting this leg fly around. We are in control of the movement the whole time. Beautiful. Okay. And bring this leg back. So it looks like we're standing on one leg or on one lovely long line. We're going to turn the whole thigh towards the ceiling and bring it back to neutral. So internal and external rotations of this leg in the hip socket. Trying again to keep the hip nice and still. Beautiful. And then we can go on to our Keitinga Waiwai Parakakara, so our bicycle legs. This is pretty tough. We exhale to bring the knee up, extend away. Exhale to bring the knee up, extend away. So by now there should be some good burning happening on the outside of those hips. Let's take that leg away this time and exhale a lovely long leg back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, being as still as you can through your torso. Last one, and then we'll finish with beats here. So I like to put my head on the ground, glide both legs up, open both legs, and then kick them together, especially that bottom leg. So really think about those inner thighs and your top side waist here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Karawi tumahi. Great job. You've got your chair or your box or whatever you've got, so just snuggle down so that your bottom foot is underneath in the box. I'm sorry, for some reason it looks very dark on my camera. Hopefully it's not as dark for you at home. Oh, thank you. Yay, that might be better. And now we're going to do exactly the same kind of thing with this underneath leg. And remember at home, if you haven't got a box, you can always bring this leg in front of you. But I have to say, we get a lot more work if we bring this leg down. So when you're ready, we're going to lift the bottom leg up and down, just like we've just done. So Te waiwai, ki runga and ki raro, just like we've already done with the top leg. Just beautiful movement up and down. Roll the top hip forward, lengthen the top hip away from you. Beautiful, and let's bring the pointed foot forward, flex foot back, point it forward, flex it back again. So still in this top hip, so long in our side waists. 3, 2, and 1. Mahiti porafita, little flex foot here. How long can this bottom leg be? Lift the knee, stiff ankle. We don't want the foot doing the work here. Oh, I can feel my side waist going for it. 3, you feel your side waist? 2, 2, 1, changing direction. I haven't quite got room to point my foot here, but if you've got room, you could point your foot. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Have a little break. We're going to write the alphabet. Remember, we did the alphabet a couple of sessions ago. So we've got about 30 seconds and we'll see how much of the alphabet you can write with this bottom leg. So, kuereri koutou, are you ready? Lift the leg up and let's go. B, C, D, E. I can't hear you, you have to say it louder. G, H, I, J. Can you dot your letters? L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, almost there, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Woohoo! I wonder if you can get yourself to the same letter on the other side. Let's have a little break first. We'll just roll onto our back, have a little tuck, let your knees go from one side to the other, or windscreen wiper your legs. You could bring your arms above your head for that beautiful stretch again. And then rolling up, swivel into a teaser, and we'll take ourselves to the other side. And if you do have blocks and that kind of thing, chairs and blocks, let's move those chairs and blocks to the other side so we're all set up and ready. Okay, so on this side, we're right back to the beginning again. The back along the edge of the mat, the feet in the corner of the mat, taking your challenge ultimately up in this position. And we are bringing our leg up and down. Te waiwai, ki runga, and ki raro. If you want to add a bit of choreography, pointing up, flexing down, just to make things nice and flash. So even if you challenge yourself for part of it, and then bring yourself down to a different position, go for it. So let's bring our foot forward, flex it back. Point it forward, flex it back. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And mahiti porafita, little circles. Lengthen up to the crown of the head. 4, 3, 2, and 1, change direction, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Internal, external rotations. Keeping the hip still. This is just the femur moving in the hip socket. Beautiful. And we'll go on to our kei te ngā waiwai pahikara, our bicycle legs. maybe. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more, exhale, inhale. Change direction, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. How high can that knee be? Try and keep it as high as your hip. Don't let it drop. One more. And our beats. Head down, lift both legs up, open and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful work. Karawi tomahi koto. Bring yourself into your area for your side waist work here. Roll the top hip forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. So again, I like to draw my hip physically with my hand like a little horseshoe. There. Pull it down onto the hip bone to draw that hip down to get that space underneath here. And let's lift and lower. Maybe a flexed foot. We're back to Te Waiwai ki ronga and ki raro. Up and down. Up and down. Feeling your tummy just gently coming in and out as you breathe as well. So we're definitely still breathing here. And Te Waiwai ki mua ki muri. Bringing your foot forward and backward. And again, just roll the top hip forward. We might be a little bit more tired on the side. Let me know if you're feeling this. It's always nice to see some thumbs up and some hearts as we go along, because I can't see your lovely faces. And we'll go on to our little circles now. Maybe a flexed foot. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Changing direction. 6, 5. Maybe you can point your foot or flex it if you've got the room to change direction. And we're going to finish with our alphabet again. So roll the top hip forward, lengthen this leg away from you, lifting up, and let's go. A, B, D, E, F, G, H, I with a dot, J with a dot, K, L, M, ooh, N, O, ooh, P. Those curly ones are hard. S, T, U, V, almost there, W, X, Y, Z, and you're finished. Great job. Let's give those inner thighs a little bit of a stretch. So just coming up to a seated position. Quite a good idea to sit on a rolled up towel or roll up the edge of your mat so you've got a little bit of lift. We're going to put our feet together, knees apart, and push down onto those adductors, our inner thighs. So if your hips are a lot lower than your knees, like mine, then absolutely sit up on something just to give yourself more optimal alignment here. Push feet together, squeeze down one more time. Can you push your knees up and push your elbows down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. You might better go down a little tiny bit more then. And then we're going to open those legs up wider. And again, sitting on something really helps. Turn your inner thighs up towards the ceiling, flex the feet, and we're lengthening our long adductors now. So we've got adductors all along here, short ones and long ones that go all the way down to the knees. So good to give them all a stretch. And if it's hard to bring your hands to the mat, absolutely put yourself up on blocks. We're here for a few more breaths. I quite like to flex and point my toes a few times here. I like to turn my toes in and out a few times. Beautiful. And then maybe you can come forward a little bit more. Morena Jackson, nice to see you. You're missing Alex. And again, maybe pointing and flexing your toes a few times. And then pushing up. Let's go into bringing our legs together. So use your hands to help bring those legs together and sitting up nice and tall. And if you aren't able to sit up with a lovely straight back, again, please sit on your rolled up towel, rolled up blanket or block. Flexing the feet, lifting those knees nice and long. And we'll go into our spine twist. Arms up, out to the side, and we're twisting in one direction, back to the middle. Beautiful. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Maybe arms out, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Just check those feet out. Thank you for that. Check that you are keeping those feet flexed, that you're lengthening between those arms. We're wringing our waist out, wringing it out, like wringing out a towel or a cloth. Beautiful. Open the legs wide, push the heels into the ground, twist, and we're going to try and chop tupata off our little baby toe. Exhale, chop. If you can, inhale, exhale, chop. Inhale, exhale, chop. We'll add a little double pulse here. Pulse, pulse. And pulse, pulse. Inhale, exhale, pulse, pulse. Inhale, exhale, pulse, pulse. We'll add a little look over the shoulder. Turn the palm up, pulse, pulse. Exhale, turn the palm, look over your shoulder, pulse, pulse. Keep going. Haere tonu. 2 more in each direction. 1 more. Beautiful. Really wring out those waists. Let's bring our knees in and we'll take a mermaid. So bringing your foot close to your bottom here, opposite leg here. You could stay in that long-legged Dandasana position we've just been, or have cross legs as well. And if you do find that one cheek kind of lift a little bit, then pop your corner of your towel or blanket underneath your bottom so your hips are nice and level. Last week we did this with balls, and you could absolutely do this with balls as well, or a roller underneath your hand. This can then be a little bit more organic. Just lengthening away, lifting up and then over. Lifting up, so tilt of the ribs and then over. And again, depending on your flexibility, your range, you could maybe go a lot further down to the mat. We'll add a little bit of rotation next. So as you come up, look away from you into extension. Exhale and we'll rotate down. Inhale away, extend and rotate. Inhale, extend, exhale, rotate. Beautiful. Let's try a little attitude. So push both knees into the ground. Your back hand behind you, lifting up, opening up the hips completely. Beautiful big hip opener. 1 more, lifting up and open. Beautiful. Windscreen wiper those legs. And we can take that heel close to the bottom again, cross legs or straight legs in front of you. And lifting up, little tilt and over, little tilt. So hopefully as your obliques become stronger, they also begin to get a little bit more flexible. They begin to find some more length. That is often what can happen, is that tightness is a sign of weakness. So I'm sure hoping that will happen for me. Extension now, away and rotation, extension and rotation. One more like that. And rotation. And rotation. Let's finish with spine support. So we did planks on Friday. I'll just adjust the camera. And spine support is a traditional way to finish a Pilates class. We stand at the back of your mat, feet together, we space between the heels, tuck the chin, tuck the arms, bring the arms up, and we lift up and over the big beach ball. Bend the knees if you need to bring your hands onto the mat, then walk straight out into a plank. Once you're in your plank, you could absolutely do some of those little things, those little variations we did on Friday. So both feet coming forwards and backwards, or leg pulls, flexing one foot, pushing forwards and backwards, or holding your plank. You've probably been holding it for enough. And then tuck the chin, lead with your legs, pull the legs up, bend the knees if you need to, walk one hand at a time, back up, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, roll up one vertebra at a time. Beautiful, arms at the top, big stretch. We'll do that one more time, up and over. Walking out to your plank, holding the plank or adding some variations here, leg pulls or both legs pushing forwards and backwards, otherwise we're holding. And then tuck the chin, tuck the bottom, lead with the thighs, push yourself all the way back again. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's roll those shoulders around the ears. Beautiful. Tihei Modi Order. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll look forward to seeing you come back here on Friday. We will add some more side planks to our oblique series. And have a wonderful week, won't you? Thank you so much for joining me. Please continue to share and like and comment so that I know that you are enjoying these classes and taking part in them. Remember, they're also getting uploaded to YouTube as well if that's a better platform for you. Otherwise, we'll see you on Friday. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste.